interruption. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Project Veterans Voices. I'm your host, AJ Cox, and once again, we are coming to you from South Oklahoma here at the Veterans Home, and we got another great veteran story for you. But before we jump into that, make sure you go hit up our new website. That's the Lost Art Project Veteran Voices.org. The Lost Art Project, veteransvoices.org. Go check that out. See what we're all about. We are a new nonprofit 501c3, so if there's any way you can help us up, it'd be much appreciated. A big shout out to the Till Valhalla Project out there. They're doing amazing things. If you don't know anything about them, go check them out. Even if you do, check them out again. They are truly an amazing organization. You can always find them at tillvalhallaproject.com.
Are you a Marine veteran? Are you missing that bond you had on active duty? Then I have a place for you. Join the only congressionally chartered Marine Corps veteran service organization, the Marine Corps League. Get that brother and sisterhood back in your life. Become one of the fewer, the prouder, a Marine Corps League member.
We have our guest. This is George Chester, Navy. George, how you doing?
I've done pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited to hear your story. It's always good to have our brothers of the sea and get to hear what they have to say. So this is going to be a good day.
Okay.
Well, let's start at the beginning for you. Let's start where you grew up. Tell us a little bit about that. And what eventually drew you to military service?
Okay. I was born in Poteau, Oklahoma. I grew up in Poteau. I went to Poteau school 5 and I went to one of the country schools where we had room schoolhouse and all 8 grades in it. So you know what I learned in 8th grade? Not a heck of a lot. But I went on to Poteau Junior High, and when I was there, I graduated from 9th grade there, and I was going down to my brother's house to bath because we didn't have anything but number 2 wash tub, and he had a regular door plumbing and everything, and we didn't. So I started down there on a horse, and as soon as I got out of my driveway, well, the horse started bucking me, and it put me all into a pile of rocks or something there. Geez. And it broke my arm, and I had to go there, and the only orthopedic surgeon in Fort Smith, Arkansas, was W.E. Knight, and he also did all the Chaffee orthopedic stuff. And so I had to wait for him to get it repaired. And when I got in there, well, then he nailed my elbow back on there, and I can't straighten it out. And I said, one thing, you'll never serve in the military. And I thought, boy, that's a bummer. And anyway, I went ahead and went to Poteau schools, and just as soon as I turned 18, well, then I joined the Navy, and they tried to kicked me out there. But what he wrote on the there was go to this certain place, and I went to this certain place, and they got to check my eyes, and they said, "Well, you got 20/20 vision." I said, "Well, okay." And went back to my company, which was there in San Diego, and
now, real quick, if you don't mind, what year was it that you joined and went in?
I joined in 1954.
1954. Okay, got it. So you joined up from Poteau. You signed up, and they sent you to boot camp out in San Diego.
Right.
Okay, I got you. That's where we're at now.
All right.
All right.
And then when I graduated from boot camp, well, then they had what they call the aviation school there right at OU. It was right outside of OU. And everybody that's going into the airport of the service, well, they had to go there and see what they were qualified for. And
oh, wow. Okay.
And then after that, well, I chose to go to Philadelphia to AB school, and then
what is AV school? Sorry, that's aviation.
Aviation
Okay.
Boatswain.
All right. Aviation boatswain's mate.
Right.
Okay, got it.
And while I was there at school, I had a pain in my side, and I went home on the weekend, and then I came back, and I had a pain in my right side, so we had the old country doctor there to come out and see me. He gave me an envelope full of pills and stuff, and he says, "Now don't take all these. Just take one every 4 hours or something." And it was the Easter weekend, and there's all kind of women on there. You know, there's a bus, but there's all kind of women. But they look at me kind of funny because I wouldn't get up and give them a seat. But I went ahead and went on back to Norman.
Okay.
And I got there at Norman, and I went up to the barracks, and I told the guy that's running the barracks there, I said, "I need to ride over to the hospital." I said, "There's something wrong with me." And we got over there, and he said, "Well, how'd you get here?" I said, "I walked." He said, "Well, let's walk on over to the hospital."
Oh, jeez.
So I did. I walked on over to the hospital, and then they examined me, and they said, "You got a hot appendix. We got to give you an operation tonight." And I said, "Well, okay, let's get it on." And we went back there, and they gave me the spinal, and he said, "Just knock you out pretty much before we operate on you." And and then he started to cut on me about half hour later, and when he did, I wasn't dead. And
oh no!
And there's about 5 or 6 of those people in there trying to hold me down. Well, he cut on me, and I said, "No." And then they knocked me out with the IV, and then after that, he said, "You'll have to pass out the breakfast trays tomorrow morning." I said, "I'll have to pass out the trays? Hell, I can't even stand up." He said, "I don't care. You'll make it." So I did. And from there, I went on to Philadelphia to the AB school. And I got up there to Philly, and of course, that was something new to me because I'd been in larger city. I was hitchhiked from Oklahoma or California back to Oklahoma when I was 15. So,
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
And one of the guys that picked me up was an Indian, and he was going down to Darko, and he says, well, I have a new Ford there, but my wife wrecked it there. And this old thing that we're driving says, can't drive any faster because I got two before holding up the front end. And I said,
Oh, God.
oh, God almighty. And then as we went on down the road, they had a flat and got out and started to get the flat out. And he had a little jar of whiskey there, and he said, here, take a drink of this. I said, I won't any of that. And he said, take some of it. And I acted like I was drinking. And he said, oh, hell, you didn't take anything. Here's the way you do it. You know? So I rode on into Oklahoma with him. And then next ride I got in Oklahoma was a guy that had a limousine, and it was old fashioned, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And we went on, and I said, well, where are you going? He said, we're going up through Tulsa. I said, Tulsa? Hell, that ain't the way home. And they said, well, you can get a ride out there. And I went ahead and got in the car with them, and we got out between somewhere there in Oklahoma, and a bearing went out on this old limousine.
Oh, no.
And he said, well, you're going to have to go get us another bearing. And I said, I'm going, what? I ain't going no darn where. What are you talking about? And I was so tired, I didn't care what, if he put me out on the side of the road there. But he didn't. They went ahead and hitchhiked on in and got a bearing and fixed it. And then we got to Tulsa, and I said, I don't know nothing about Tulsa. He said, just stay on this highway here and you get through Tulsa. And I said, okay. So I got out there and tried to hitchhike across Tulsa. And I think I walked all the way across Tulsa.
You didn't get picked up at all.
And so I finally got home, and my mom says, George, what are you doing here? And I said, well, I thought I lived here, but I don't know, you know. And so then I went ahead and went back to high school and finished high school there in Poteau. And then as soon as I turned 18, I went and signed up for the Navy.
So you were saying a second ago that you had made it to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what in Philadelphia, that is where your training was for the
yes, school.
Yeah. How was that? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it was at that time they had all the AB positions on there, you know, like gasoline and firefighting, and there's 4 different ones that you combined there. And so then I went to Philadelphia, and I went through mess cooking, of course, and everything else like that. And then after I graduated from up there, I went to Corpus Christi, Texas.
Okay.
And I got Corpus Christi, Texas, and we had they put me in a water seaplane.
Oh, wow.
Unit, and they'd given all these seaplanes to the and Navy, and they were training them there, and none of the guys wanted to go up for the rate or anything there, because when you did, you got transferred. And so I automatically became a beach master there, and
Wow.
and of course nobody else wanted to do it, so
Mhm.
I went ahead and did it.
Now a beach master is a pretty big deal, though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Now,
yeah.
did was there specific training for that, or did you have to qualify for it?
I just observed for a while.
Mhm.
I did it, you know,
Yeah.
and
Now, what was your rank at that point?
at that point I was airman,
Airman.
and so when exams came around, well, I took the test, and
Mhm.
of course I passed it. And they said, "Well, you'll be transferred out here for long," and and sure enough, the day I got my third class, well, I was out of there.
Wow.
And
Now, how long were you there?
I was there for about a year.
About a year. Okay.
Of course, I was happy to go. You know, I joined the Navy to see the world, and
Yeah.
I did. And
Now, where did they send you after that? Once you got promoted?
to the Hancock CVA 19,
Okay.
first angle deck converted carrier. there was.
Oh, okay.
And so while we was on there, we went over and around China and Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when Chiang Kai-shek was moving all of his people over to Taiwan from China.
Okay.
So we had to fly cover for him while he was transferring his people. And of course, his people coming in boats and everything else, you know. And so we had to stay up there 4 days and 3 nights, and we couldn't go to bed or nothing, you know.
Wow.
So finally, on that day, well, one of the guys that worked on the catapult crew, well, he went to sleep while they was hooking up the brake ring underneath the airplane.
Uh-oh.
And then they called us to step down. And we stepped down, and we was down in our bunk and stuff. And then all of a sudden, well, here comes the general quarters.
Yeah.
And we jumped out there and run back up to the flight deck. And there was a big fire up there where this other crew had put this plane on the catapult side, and the shuttle was back there where it hooked up to, and it wasn't tied down properly as prop plane, and so they just turned it up, and when they turned it up, well then the plane just tilted forward and hit that shuttle, and the plane just exploded, you know.
Wow.
And it was a big fire there.
Yeah.
And we was fighting the fire, you know, and they kept shouting from the boss, you know, don't let that plane. Don't let that get over the plane. I didn't know why in hell they was worried about the other plane until afterwards. And I found out they was practicing putting an atomic bomb in this other plane.
Oh my gosh.
And we finally did get the fire under control, and we lost 4 people. They don't know what happened to them, whether they went overside or what, you know.
That was during that fire?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So then finally we got to rest a little bit, but
yeah.
we was tired. I mean, tired.
Well, yeah, you said what was 3 days and 4 days and 3 nights? Is
Yeah.
what you said? Yeah. That's a long time.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a zombie walking around.
Yeah.
We accomplished what we was doing in
So this would have been in about what,
56, I think, or 7.
Okay.
And so after that, well, I got transferred, or I got discharged so I went to Sweden, life there for a while, and went to college and stuff like that. And then
Okay.
in 62, I told my wife, I said, well, I'm going back to the Navy. I said, hell, I can't get a decent job anywhere around here.
Yeah. And you were back here in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Whereabouts? Back in Poteau?
Poteau.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, she didn't care, at that time, but went ahead and went to the Navy and started as airman again.
Oh, wow.
And
Had to start all over.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Did you do the same job?
yeah, I went back in. Of course, I'd been to college a little bit, and I had better score and everything when I went back in.
Yeah.
And everything. I really high mathematics on it, and so they put me out in a squadron, and I didn't know what it would be, but it was to fly around as loadmaster.
Oh, okay.
And so I went to loadmaster school.
Yeah, you definitely got to know you have to do, master.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do one time, me and another guy had to go to Travis there to figure out the schedule for a week-long transfer, what is training for. And so we got that done, and then we got a accommodation from the one the admirals, I guess. I don't know.
Nice.
But anyway, the guy was in charge of Travis there. And because we didn't make any mistakes or anything. And
that's impressive.
And then after that, why?
Now, when you came back in, where were you? Where did they send you?
Moffett Field.
Moffett Field.
Right.
Where?
That's in Mountain View, California, right outside of San Francisco.
Okay. So over 300 hours, right? Of
3,000.
3,000. Sorry, yes, 3,000 hours of time in a C-130 as a loadmaster.
Right.
Which was during Vietnam as well. So you were flying to Vietnam and stuff like that?
Yeah, we was constantly in there. We could only fly 125 hours a month. So they switched us around on, and the Air Force was wondering how in the world y'all outdo us, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And like one time I had to do what they call head over to Japan and relieve this other guy because he didn't have enough time left to fly the rest of the month. And so I did that, and and stuff like that. Only the Navy would think of something like that. It was crazy.
So you're saying that if you're flying so much in one aircraft, they take you and put you in another so you'd go over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, what they called that you didn't have any purpose on there except you just sitting there.
Yeah.
Wow. Got over to Tactical, Japan there, and I took over on his spot on the plane. And then we went ahead and went on to Vietnam and back and all that stuff.
So you're basically flying stuff into Vietnam and then flying stuff back out.
Right.
Is what you're doing? Okay.
And
Now, what do you know? What types of things you were flying in?
oh yeah, you know, all kinds of things. Like when Johnson said, you know, go ahead and hit them with all we got and all that. You know, we went to Iwakuma, Japan, to load up there at the Marine base with ammunition. And
wow.
we was 10,000 pounds overweight. You know what was normally.
Really?
Yeah.
And you still made it though.
Oh yeah, we went to Da Nang and offloaded it.
Wow.
And while we was going over there, we had a new navigator on there was training, and so we was flying along, you know, and wasn't thinking much about anything. And then the navigator says, "Sir, I screwed up. I gave you the wrong course to fly." And he said, "Well, where in the hell are we?" Said, "Somewhere over North Vietnam."
Oh no.
Then the commander said, "Well, tell me how to get the hell out of here," you know. So we did.
Oh my God.
And went on into Vietnam and stuff, you know.
So he had you guys flying in North Vietnam.
Yeah. But we got out there safely. It's a wonder we didn't have stuff coming up at us. But
yeah,
I guess at a point up there where there wasn't much stuff or something. I don't know why. Thank the Lord it was, you know.
Yeah.
And so we went on and got into Da Nang, and we did trips like that. You know, we'd get back home, and the only thing we was 3 days off, you know, and that was.
So how long would it take you to fly, to fly there, drop everything off, and then fly back? How long, because C-130s are not super fast.
No.
They're pretty slow going.
Yeah.
So how long would that take?
Oh, let's see. Here to Hickam Field there at Hawaii. It'd probably take us about 8 hours in the C-130.
Yeah.
And then when we was flying the 121s, well, it took about 12 hours. You know.
Oh, wow.
You know, according to which way the trade wind is blowing, you know, it changes between summer and winter.
Plus also how loaded down you are as well. Yeah.
And then we'd fly on to maybe Japan or Philippines or wherever, you know, along the way, pick up the stuff that we was going to pick up and take in or whatever. And
now with C-130s, and you can tell me if I'm wrong on this, but I've always been told that they're very reliable, and you can fly them with one engine.
Well,
that's what I've always been told. I don't know if that's true, but I wouldn't want to test that theory out.
No, I wouldn't want to be on there either.
They said that they could do it, though. I was like, well, man, don't do it when I'm on here. That's all I can say.
So anyway, during the war there, while we was fixing to disband the squadron, and this other guy that I know, he was loadmaster also, and he wanted to go out with his buddies, and they wouldn't fly, you know, this personnel man and stuff like that. So I said, "Well, Ron, how long have I got to get down there?" He said, "Well, about 30 minutes. I said, well, hell, I live 30 miles away from there.
Oh, man.
So I said, I'll try. That's all I'll do. So I got down there, and they already had one engine started up on it, and he was on the headset out there. And I just grabbed the headset, and he went, back to his barracks and stuff.
Wow.
And then when they had completed that trip and stuff, and got back in Travis, and they told me they wouldn't tell me until I got back that plane had been shot down, so lost 12 people there.
Wow.
And several close calls like that.
Yeah.
And
Holy cow.
yeah, I still got the obituary there in my Bible.
Yeah.
And I never got over that,
So it was a plane that you were,
Yeah,
I guess, supposed to be on.
right.
Yeah.
Because he was going over that morning, and I was supposed to go over that evening. We
Right.
usually had 2 planes that left
Mm-hmm.
same day, but
And you said did you say they were shot down?
yeah.
And oh man,
right outside of Cameron Bay,
no kidding.
take off. Yeah,
Wow. Mm. Now, how many were on there? You said 14?
12.
12? Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah,
Very tough.
it was for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand it, because I was a little bit older than these other kids, and
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You always think to yourself, why me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've thought of that a few times,
Mm-hmm. Man. Do you remember what year that was when that happened?
Was 1966 in June.
66. June 66. Wow.
And it may not affect some people, but it did me. So
Yeah.
a lot of people think, well, so what? You didn't get shot down. No, I didn't. But I've had some close calls,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's pretty much my story on the C-130s.
So when you've had the close calls, if you don't mind, could you tell us a little bit about some of those?
Oh, yeah. My position was back here in the back. I stayed in the back because a lot of times, except when they wanted something. Like one time we was coming back from out of Vietnam, and the autopilot went out. And so I just went up front there, and the co-pilot was flying the airplane. And he said, help me out here, Jordan. I said, well, what do you want me to do? He said, help me fly this plane. I said, I had never flown anything. What do you mean? And then he pointed at the instrument I was supposed to watch and keep it in that heading all the time. And I sat there and helped him out because his arms he said that it feel like rags or something trying to stir this thing. It's hard to fly one of them things up there, and that, the wind changes and everything else. And so I did the best I could, and then he punched me and he said, get the captain up. I said, well, what we need the captain up for? He said, we're fixing to land at Midway. So I said, all right. So I did. I woke the commander up, and he got up there, and I went back to my hole back there.
Yeah.
And One time we was coming out of Tachikawa, Japan, and we flew into a thunderstorm,
Oh,
and it lightning and everything, and it hit on the nose of the plane and knocked the nose, that like a plastic type
like a little
nose.
cone type thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it knocked it off and all that stuff. And we had to go back in Japan
Wow.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the story of I don't know. I've
Yeah.
had some other close calls. I don't know. I don't even know how many, but I'm thankful that I did make it. And but while I was there, I went back to Wichita Falls and went through nuclear weapon loading and unloading and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
And because they got call signs for everything. If you get a dent in there, been there or something. I don't remember now.
Yeah.
But and then I went from get off of that,
What's that?
the C-130s.
Yeah. We're good.
Oh, okay. Well, that was about all that I can really recall right now.
So, and then now, what year was it when you got off the C-130s?
Well, I went to Orlando in '72.
And at this point, what rank were you?
I was first class.
First class still? Okay.
And got to Orlando and I went to instructor school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then went to Orlando and pushed boots for
Oh.
I think it's 4 years or 5 years. I can't remember.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah. It was for me, because usually you only get a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And
that what your experience as a drill instructor is that, or what do you call them, RDCs? I can't remember what the Navy calls them. Is it RDC?
Commanders, company commanders.
Okay. Now your experience doing that overall, I mean, that's a tough duty.
Yeah.
But overall, would you say it was a good experience?
Well, yeah, good experience. But when you got a company, you go home midnight and get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And so that's the way it was down there. But in between, you'd have different jobs and stuff, and either instructing or whatever, picking up recruits at the airport or whatever. And
you did that for quite a while, though. I mean,
yeah.
To do that because I did it for 3 years, and that's a long time. I can't imagine going 4 and 5 years.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it, that living there. I didn't like Florida much at first when we went down there, but after about 6 months, it was home to me. So,
yeah.
And I'm trying to think. Oh, I went to VP 76 at Moffett Field, and we went back to Vietnam.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Came on Bay. And then when I got back to the States, they had me going aboard the Enterprise. And, it was in Newport News, Virginia. And I was at Moffett Field, so I had to transfer to the Enterprise.
And what were you doing when you got to the Enterprise?
Just handling planes and stuff.
Were you still loadmaster at that point?
No,
No. Okay.
no, I never
So that was the only time you were loadmasters.
was C-130s
Yeah.
and 121s.
Whoa, light went out.
But then I got off there and I went to the Incheon, which
wow.
is
Okay.
a helicopter squadron
Yeah.
out of South Carolina, Moorhead. And then we went to Gitmo Bay to inspection, operational readiness inspection.
Right.
I got down there and the one that was in charge of the inspection was one of my old buddies, He said, "Come on, George, let's go." I said, "Well, I better stay here." "No, you don't need to stay there. Everything will be all right." So I didn't have to do nothing when we was down there.
Nice. It's good to have friends.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Then when we was coming back from down there, we went through a hurricane,
Oh, wow.
and so we was rocking and rolling, and everything, and going through that hurricane, and come to find out the captain had ignored orders to divert from present course to another course. We wasn't supposed to be in that hurricane.
Oh, my goodness.
And when we got to the port there, well, then at last we've seen him. He went to Pentagon or wherever he went. And,
Yeah, he went somewhere else for sure.
Yeah. And the officer of the deck was my division officer that night of the hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, this thing's supposed to only take rolls up to 65 feet and or degrees. And so I said, "Well, what'd you do then?" He said, "Well, it throwed me to the floor and we're going past 65. And that plane or that ship was supposed to turn upside down at 65 degrees." And I said, "Well, what'd you do?" He said, "Well, it knocked me to the floor." And I said, "Well, would you say a prayer while you're just down there?" So just different stuff that you can't even think of,
Yeah.
But anyway, I went from Incheon over to from Iwo Jima over to the Incheon, which is the same thing, kind of boat. And that was about it.
And now, did you stay at first class that whole time, or
No, I made chief there towards the last.
Okay.
So that's what got me about the boss here. He was coming out the door as I was going in, and he said, "Okay, Chief, come on in." That's the first time I've been called Chief, in years.
Yeah.
I was thinking, dang. But of course, that's what everybody calls you,
Yeah. Now, looking back, would you say Chief was your favorite rank?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. good thing to have. And I would have stayed in, but I had a, I don't know what you'd say about her. She didn't want to be married to me, but she stuck it out, and I stuck it out because of my kids.
Yeah. How many kids?
I had 4 altogether.
Okay.
I had 3 boys and 1 girl, and all the boys are gone now. They're dead and gone. The first one was he got shot, and second one was his heart just exploded on him, and then the last one I just buried there last week.
Oh wow!
And he had cancer. He had cancer.
Yeah.
And he was on morphine, or whatever.
Right.
Straight. Started out as a drip, and then they just opened it up and let him go ahead and pass.
Wow. And now, once you retired, what was like where did you go? What did you do?
Well, I went back to college.
Okay. At OU?
No, there at Fort Smith.
Oh, Fort Smith. Okay.
And I started just, I already had enough hours to get AA degree, and I got it as soon as I got there in first semester. And so I said, I don't want to quit going to college. I got to pick something else out. So I picked nursing out.
Okay.
And I went through nursing up to it was my last month there. And my old lady, or I don't know what you'd call her, but she wouldn't leave me alone. She didn't want me. She didn't want me to have anybody else. She'd do everything in the sun to get me.
Yeah.
But I was supposed to graduate, next month from nursing school, and then I had to quit nursing school and went to work at Whirlpool.
Oh wow!
And run a big press there, the biggest one they had there. There's only 2 of us knew how to run it, so.
Wow.
I did that for a little over 6 years, and then I bought a car lot and sold used cars and stuff.
Yeah.
And I did that for a while, and then my other son, he was running a car lot over there in Roland, so he wanted me to come over there and help him out. And so I did, and I worked there for probably a couple of years.
So you did selling cars for quite a while then?
Oh yeah, I was in my 70s,
Yeah. Wow.
Then got married again, and I married a squirrel again. I got a bad picker.
So the now how old are you right now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 89.
89.
Yeah.
You're doing really good for 89. Your memory is pretty sharp.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't feel like
Well, you're doing good. I can tell you. I mean, you remembered a lot of stuff, so that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. I did best I could do.
Yeah.
I didn't ever want to quit something. I wanted to work through it. So that's one thing the military taught me was you don't quit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Well, shoot. Is there anything else that we missed that we want to talk about?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I always do these rapid fire questions at the end here. So
Okay.
if you don't mind, I'm gonna do these questions with you.
All right.
All right. What is your proudest military moment?
Well, when we outdid the Air Force there that time.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. All right. What is your most embarrassing military moment?
I don't know, too many failures.
Well, it doesn't have to be a failure, just embarrassing.
Yeah, well, we had this one kid, a black kid, and he come down there and he was supposed to, you started out as a swimmer and had a knife, on us. And he said, "Man, what y'all got them knives for?" One of the guys said, "Well, cause them sharks out there and there's a bunch of poisons." And so this stuff like that.
That's funny. Yeah, you don't want to be out there with the sharks.
No, man, it wasn't sharks out there at Corpus Christi.
All right. If you could be one military leader for a day, who would that be?
Well, I don't know. I've had some good officers and stuff. And I guess captain or something.
Okay. All right. And now, what is one lesson or skill that you learned that you still use today?
Not to quit.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. All right. In the zombie apocalypse, what will be your weapon of choice and what anthem will be playing?
Taps will be playing.
Oh, no.
A weapon of choice is something that hadn't been invented yet. It'd be like AI.
Okay. Yeah, like a drone or something. Yeah. Okay. I like that. All right. What animal best describes your time in service?
I guess a horse.
Okay. I like it. All right. And then knowing what you know now, would you do it all over again?
I'd still been in there if it hadn't been for my old lady.
Yeah?
No, I wouldn't be in there now.
So you could probably still do it, though.
No, I can't. I got too many things wrong with me. Yeah.
All right. I always give an opportunity for what I call words of wisdom or just anything else that you want to leave the listeners with.
Don't quit. Just keep working at it and you will finally find a solution for it.
Yeah. That's a good one. I like it. Well, thank you very much for coming on here, George. I had a good time. Hopefully you enjoyed it. But I know all the listeners out there are going to get a good kick out of it. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
Now, I always end the podcast and I talk about veteran suicide and ways that they can get help. So to all the listeners out there, if you're struggling, you need help, anything like that, don't forget the VA does have some good resources. You can always dial 988, press option 1. You can always text 838-255 or go to veteranscrisisline.net, click on that chat icon. Any of those options will put you in contact with somebody that can help you out. But remember, one veteran life lost is one too many. I care about you. I know George cares about you. The whole veteran community cares about you. So please reach out for help. And if you're out there, you're not struggling, reach out to the buddies you served with, ask them how they're doing. If they need that helping hand, please give it to them. All right, George, one last time. Thanks. Much appreciated.
You're welcome. It wasn't much of a story, but
no, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. To all the listeners out there, stay motivated. Change your socks.
yeah.
No more 22. On to the journey and finish the fight.